Hi guys, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I'm here again working on these two little journals, and I left you where I had picked out papers for the inside of this little gingerbread man one, and I went ahead and glued those down and cut them to fit. So I'm at the point where I think I need to go ahead and figure out what I'm doing here. So I don't want to do too much because I don't want to cover up the title. So I don't have to do anything, but I think on this one, if I do anything, it's going to cover up the title. The J, at least cover up the G. And I don't want that. So I'm going to try it without. I am going to put some, I'm going to try putting some eyelets in here. And I think I have enough for the front and the back of these two little journals. I ordered some new ones. Like if you watched my last ring bound journals, you have seen me saying that I was running out of eyelets and I only have a couple left. So I got out the bigger ones. I want to try to use those. The ones I said I can't use them because they're too big. I'm going to try to use them with this. This is my hole punch I was showing you in the last video that I totally forgot to use in my last journal. So I'm going to try to use it here. And first I'm going to adjust. It has three hole punches, but I think I can use it for the two. I'm just going to put two in here because this is small. There's no way it would just be overloaded with three. So I'm going to see if I can, see there's two little screws over here and I can adjust this middle one. So let me see. So what I do is, yeah, see that's about perfect right there. I get it where I want it. It's about, right now they're about 1 inch down. Like one is 1 inch up from the bottom and one is 1 inch up from the top. And I think you probably can't see great, but you can see the hole punch. So I kind of like it right there. So that's what I do. I get the little punches where I want them, which if they stay right there, that'll be great. And I can screw, there's little screws over here. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want these to move. I'm just going to tighten them with my finger tighten them, little screws, so that those little punches stay right there. Because that's why I got this, because I can use this to punch everything, the covers, front and back. And I got it because it fits a lot in between here. And the covers fit in there, and I can fit a lot of pages in there. And then once I get them where I want them, the holes are all in the same spot, right? I just have to make sure that I put let's see, let me make sure I'm doing this to the best of the best way this will work, okay? Because I haven't used this in a while, so I gotta think this through here for a second. If you know what I mean, if you haven't used the tool in a while. So now, you saw what I just did, right? But is that the best way to do it, right? So let me loosen this back up because I want to move this up because I think I have another way to do it that would be the best way to do it, okay? So the point of this whole thing is there's a stopper here. There's a guide. See this? I can move this around too. So the best way to do it is not the way I was just doing it, but to have this guide here where I want it. So say I want this middle one. Yeah, let me see. Because the middle one is less adjustable than the bottom one. The bottom one has about a 3 or so inch place that I can move it up and down. And wherever I want. The middle one has about 1 inch space, so I can only move it a little bit, right? So, like I said, I want it about 1 inch from the top. So I'm going to get get this middle one where I want it. And that's about 1 inch from the top. Okay, let me see how that would affect the G in Gingerbread Man. Yeah, I can put it up. I put it above the G, and then it will be less than 1 inch from the top though. But then the G will not be punched out, right? Pretty much in between, right above the G, pretty much. It might be a little bit on the G, because I don't want it to be too high, you know what I mean? So right above the G is what I'm going for. And so that is not quite an inch from the top. So now this one, I'm going to move it down. Let's see if I can move this one down. Oh, that's as far as it can go. So that means I need to move this over. Okay, let me loosen this up. So I had tightened it down before. Okay, let me move this one up as far as it can go. Okay. Now, get it above the G. Pretty much above the G, I think. And I'm pushing it all the way over this way because that's the best way to get all your holes in the same spot. You don't want to pull it out or anything. I'll push it against the back. Put my hole above the G. And then I want to see, I would say it's not quite an inch, so I'm going to move this one up now. See, I have a lot of leeway in the bottom one here, so I'm going to move this up to try to make it like the same distance up that I have this top one going down. Okay, a little bit down. Okay, that looks very, it doesn't have to be perfect or anything, but I just want it to be similar. That's why I'm not measuring, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. So it's not quite an inch from the top and it's not quite an inch from the bottom. That's my measurement. So I'm pushing it in and I'm going to tighten up these screws now. Tighten up these screws because I do not want this to move. So let's see. It's kind of like opposite. I know it's righty-tighty, but it's like reaching over like this. It's kind of like almost like I feel like I'm doing the opposite of what I should do, but I know it's not. It's right. I know I'm doing it right. Okay, so I've got those tightened down. Now I'm going to move this little stopper here up to the bottom of the book. So I have everything aligned. So it should work out where all I have to do is put, you know, I punch my holes here, and then I put the front and the pages and the back and everything in this right here, and all the holes should be lined up, right? I just want to make sure that's where I want. I think I need to push this up a little bit. That looks good. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and punch. And it does, I got to stand up and push down. Okay, there we go. There's our two holes. Okay, so see how clean they are, and see how like smooth this is. I don't think it needs any washi tape or fabric. I just don't want to cover up that G. I don't want to cover up that G. I want to keep that G. Okay, so the back cover. So one key is to make sure everything's upright, because if you punch it upside down, the holes might not line up, right? So this is upright. You can see I'm going to put it right in there gently so I don't move like this bottom thing. There's no way to tighten that up. It's just where it is. So I just want to make sure I don't move it, you know, because then things could go very wrong. So, all right, I didn't move anything. I got it lined up. I got it pushed on there, but I didn't move it, I don't think. And let me see how it looks. Oh gosh, oh, it's scary. Let's see how it looks. I'm doing it, guys. Okay, let's see if it lines up. Oh yeah, see? There's my hole. Can you see right there? It goes all the way through right here. And right here, you can see all the way through there. So it lined up, see? Isn't that awesome? That's why I bought this little gadget, or a big gadget. And there we go. So now now I want to add some pockets in here. So at this point, you know, like last time when I worked on ring bound journals, I worked on 2 covers, but then once I got the holes in one cover done, I kind of just left the other one and did one. I don't really like to do more than one journal at a time, so I'm going to leave the other one over there and we'll work on that one next and just kind of concentrate on this one now. So the papers I was using is here, and no wait, is this one? Yeah, this one has yellows in it, and these 2 right here, these 3 paper pads I was using. But the next step I want to do here today is put some pockets in here. So I said I wanted to use coordinating paper, and I think This is all patterned, so I want to use something that coordinates with this. So this is the same paper pad. So let's see what we want to use. Is this the front? Yeah. So we don't want to use any more stripes. I don't know if I want to use a solid, but I kind of want to pull these papers out of here so I can kind of flip through. Well, these are already coming out. Let's see, these are all the purples, and I don't think I want to use a solid purple. You know, it would be, I mean, I can, and that's an option, but let's see what else. Let's see what else might look more fun, right? More, the green, I think, would even look prettier than the solid purple. I don't know why. I mean, solid purple is pretty, but, you know, it's just kind of boring to me. So the green would actually, I think the green, if I wanted to use a solid color, the green would actually be prettier. So that is an option. So let's see if anything else jumps out at us. And it can be 2 patterns if we want. So like this could be fun. The flowers, that could be fun. And the little centers are green right there. Flowers are white. So it's all coordinating. So that's an option. No more stripes. No more stripes. No, no, no. No more stripes. And that's green. And that's all our options. Let me see. Is that it really? I thought we had more options. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. That's why I want to pull these out of here. It's just I want to be able to flip through these easier. Okay. Okay, so we got the, yeah, that's it. Okay. So, green or flowers? I don't know about you guys, but this flower's calling me. I'm sorry if you don't like them. It's just fun, you know, it's just more fun. You gotta have some fun here. It's a journal. Okay, so how do we want to do this? I think I'm gonna cut it so that it's flush over here and kind of angled. I don't want it too far up either, but I want it to be a good sized pocket. So I think I'm gonna cut like about right there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut like this, line it up so it's straight. I think I will make a little pencil line here, actually. Let me get my, I almost tipped my jar over there. I got it overloaded, I think. So I'll make a little line here. Okay. And then, actually this will be enough for both pockets. Well, I want a pocket in the front and a pocket in the back. So I'm going to cut right on that line, straight line here with my paper cutter. And then I'm going to line this up. Is that straight? I don't, yeah, I guess it is. It just didn't look straight there for a second. I guess it is. Let me see if this is actually, I probably should have just cut it in half, shouldn't I? I think I should have just cut it in half, but it's because I don't want to waste any paper. Okay, so let me make sure this is upright. Yeah, these are both upright. And I'm going to cut an angle over here, a little angle, because I don't want it to be in the way of the holes. Well, let me see. Yeah, I think it'll make a pretty pocket if I do that too. So I'm going to start about right here and make an angle over, straight line. Not too much, but enough. Something like that. So it'll be, oh, I need a little bit more. I'm still covering my hole. And this needs to be straightened up anyway. That's something like, still covering up my hole. Let's see, let me make it a little less angled. Okay. Yeah, see, there's not there. Then we'll have a nice little pocket without covering up the hole. And I guess you could put the pocket, if you want the pocket to go all the way across, I would put it on first before you punch the holes, and then, not that you can't punch the holes after, but I just, I'm doing it like this. So I always like to have I like to have this open over here anyway, because it makes it easier to get things in and out. I really don't like it to have pockets closed where you have glue over here and glue over here, if I can help it, because that just makes it very tight to get things in and out, if you know what I mean. Okay, so this one the same thing. Cut about right here. And a little angle over. Well, I'll do the same thing. It's just not big enough. That is nice and straight. Now let's see if it's covering up our hole. Nope, it is not. So I like that. I like this one better. What did I do there? Somehow I don't like this one as much because I cut from the top on this one and it just turned out better. So I'm going to do that again. Let's see. But this one's the opposite way, so it's hard to cut from the top. Let me just do that again though, because I just like the way that one looks. It just looks straighter. Watch me end up ruining this paper. Nope, that's okay. I like it. I like it. Yeah, that looks better. It just looks straighter. It didn't look straight enough for me. Yeah, I'm not, I was going to say I'm not a perfectionist. I am a recovering perfectionist, so I'm trying not to be so perfect. And I'm not perfect, so it's hard when you're a perfectionist and you're not perfect. You're really hard on yourself, right? I know how it is. Yes, nobody is harder on a perfectionist than themselves. That's a quote from me, from experience. Nobody's harder on a perfectionist than themselves. So if a perfectionist does something wrong, you do not need to yell at them because they're already yelling at themselves. Believe me, I've done it a lot. Yelled at myself, Sherry, how could you do that? Why? Why did you do that? How could you do such a thing? Oh my goodness. That's why I say recovering. I'm trying not to be like that. Trying not to be so hard on myself. It can be very stressful. Okay, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Do you like the flower and the stripe combination? I do. Oh, awesome. So that'll be our front and back covers on that one. And I don't think we need any more as far as... So that cover is pretty much really done. And now I need to work on the pages. So since I have some time left here, let's work on the other one, even though I said I wasn't going to. Because I'm not prepared to work on the pages yet, I don't think. I want to pull out... Well, you know, I could work on the pages, couldn't I? Because I said I wanted to use some of the 6x6 scrapbook paper. And I could work on getting the pages out of the spine. I haven't done that yet, so let me put my little pin in my art glitter glue. Grab the pages from, let me see, where are the pages from? I've got everything over here on the other side of the table. Richard Scarry, the Gingerbread Man. Okay, so I need to get this off of here. Let me see if I can do this on video. I have, let me see if I have my staple remover in here. Yes, I do. Sometimes I take it out in the other room and I work on books, taking books apart when I'm watching TV. I have one that I was taking apart right now. I already have it apart, so I guess I put these away. But usually I just kind of try to grab the staple out of here with the staple remover, so I can get the pages out clean, you know what I mean, and not cut the pages. But, I mean, I'm going to have to cut them anyway, but I would like to get them out of here first. See, the staple just pulls right out of there. And pretty much, let's see, I don't have my pliers here either. Might have to grab those to get that staple the rest of the way out. But yeah, I have a book in the other room. It has a beautiful cover. It's a little golden book, a regular size one. But the pages were quite, about, I'm trying to think of how many pages were written on. like 4 or 5 of the pages are written on, so I was trying to figure out what pages I could salvage and what I wanted to do with the cover. You know, because the cover is great. Cover's great. It's just the pages are, you know, I can't use all the pages. Or actually I was trying to figure out if I could use one side of the page or if both sides were scribbled on and things like that. So that's what I've been working on. Well, I have it done. I have it ready to do something with now. I just have to figure out what I want to do with it. Well, this one's a tough one. This one is a tough staple. But I have my pliers here, so I'm going to grab those and get the rest of that out. This is how it's done, guys, if you haven't done this before. This is how, if you want to just take the pages out without cutting them, or just want to take this little spine off, you can just take the staples out. See, now it's just going to come right off. And you won't damage your pages or anything. Yeah, this one's glued on too. Some of them are glued on. Some of them come off easier. It seems like some of them don't have that much glue or any glue. This one does definitely have some glue. Well, the middle pages are coming right out. See, just this one outer page that's glued on, I guess. So, see there? It just came right off. Okay, let me put that over there and that over there. So I'm going to keep the pages in order. And so I'm going to have these pages separated anyway. And I'm going to need to cut a little bit off because I did take the spine off. So I'm going to cut, but I want to make sure that I am not cutting off anything, because even though they are going to be cut over here, I don't have to cut off over here. If I am going to cut off something, I can cut off on the outside too. See how there's white over here? So I can kind of go page by page and see if I need to worry about that, or I can look right now and see that, okay, there's plenty of room over by where the spine was. I mean, it only makes sense because the spine was there and you weren't seeing that anyway. So it makes sense that there's nothing there to cut off. It's just white space. So I can go ahead and kind of line this up. I usually like to have it in a little bit, you know, from the, I don't like to have it right at the, oh, I think I'm going to have to close my door. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Somebody was coming. Good. Somebody's coming to make noise, so I had to close my door. Nobody was downstairs, so somebody just came downstairs. So I had my door open. I like my door open when nobody's around, but when people are around, then I close my door so we don't have noise. Okay, so I'm going to cut about like right here. I'm going to put a line there. And go ahead and cut that off, and that shouldn't be cutting off anything, and I think I can cut all of these at the same time. Just want to make sure it's almost looks like it's not straight, but it's got to be straight, right? All the pages are even. Okay, let me get that right in the cutting spot there. Get it cut in the right spot. Let's see if I can cut through all of these at the same time. All right, I think I did it. Yes, I did. So we got these pages ready. Let me see how they fit. Perfect. Can you see? Just a little bit there. They are in just a little bit. Okay, so that's a perfect fit as far as I'm concerned. And there's a staple. Let me get rid of that. Okay, now I want to look through these papers to see. I need to watch my time, but I want to look through these papers to see what we can use from here. And then I will, after the video, I will go through my other like fun papers that are not scrapbook paper and pull out some of those, because I don't want to use all scrapbook. Now these are one-sided. Yeah, I don't want to use all scrapbook paper. I want to use other fun papers too. So like ledger paper and, you know, graph paper and maybe some children's writing paper. So really any of these would be good pages. I just don't want to use all white backed pages, you know what I mean? I want to use some double-sided. So This one I kind of wanted to use this plaid, at least that one. Let's see what else. Let me see what else. Any more plaid? Because I really like that plaid, but I don't want to use... I like this red one too. I kind of like this. Maybe one of these. Maybe that one. And then you have the white back where that is fun to have just a... I mean, it really is nice to have a blank spot once in a while. Oh, here's some more plaid, but I don't think I want to use two of the same thing. And I don't want to have too much white back. You know what I mean? Like, I might put a pocket on the white spaces and then you'll have just a completely white space. So let's see. So these are going to have to be cut down a little bit. So we can use this title page. We can leave that, and then you have the copyright and everything. That's cool. And I'll cut the holes, punch the holes in the pages later. I just want to get all the pages in here first and then cut the holes. So I'm going to cut these down. Let's see. I kind of like stripes going up and down usually. And this is stripes, so I'm going to cut, I'm going to do it up and down on here. And this pretty much is 6 inches, isn't it? And then the height is perfect. It's 6 inches. Oh, you know what I could do is do a little, let's do a little flip out here so we don't have to cut anything off. That's what I like to do. Let me feel this paper real quick. I think I might need to score this. I don't want it to fold weird. So let's see. Sometimes I use a temporary score here. Let me see. I have this little tool here when I don't have my scoreboard out, which I usually don't get it out because it's so big. This little tool from Dollar Tree that I use to score right here. And just my ruler, and it just helps me to fold. And this is pretty thick cardstock. That's why I'm using my score. And I can see the line I started to make right there. So I'm going to put this right on that line. Try to make straight here. Make a straight line. Let me do it this way. So I can see that it's straight, right on the line. Go ahead and just try to make a little score here with this. The lid's on here. You got to make sure the lid is on these things because you've got a little pointy tool in there that will poke you if you are trying to do it without the lid. See, this is just going to make a little line here that I can fold on. It'll make it a little easier to fold on even without a score board right now. I have one, I just don't want to, it's one of those big ones and I just don't like to get it out. I should get it out and use it, but I don't really want to. I think this will be fine. Okay, yeah, this is going to be fine. Okay, I just want to get it even here, and then we'll be good. Okay, see, that worked really well. Okay, now let me make sure it's not too wide. So I want it like this. Let's see if that was good. Yep, that is in there. It's not sticking out. Awesome. Okay, we have our first page, fold out. Now if I have another one, which I'm using the plaid, and I don't want to put that right next to that one, I'm going to put it, maybe I'll put it in the back, like right here. This can go in any direction. So I'm going to do the same thing, but maybe this one will be a pocket or a side tuck instead of a, let me make a little line here. Well, I like to make it, I'm making it on the page instead of the cover because, you know, the pages are a little bit in from the cover. So right there. And then we're going to put this out of the way. Keeping our pages in order. Now, if you are afraid of getting your pages out of order, see, these don't have numbers on them. If your pages don't have numbers on them, you can put a little number in pencil, like a very light pencil that you can see. And then erase it later on if you're afraid of getting your, because I did get the pages a little bit out of order in Sleeping Beauty, and then I had to read the whole story to figure out I had to, I mean, you know the story. I know the story, so it was easy to figure out what was going on. But that book was, I never read that book before. I read, where's my lid? I just said I need to have my lid on here, and my lid fell off. I don't see it. Okay, I'm going to be careful. I'm going to see I have the point here away from my away from my hands and fingers. But, yeah, I had to just read that story a little bit because it was a little bit, the way it ran was just a little bit different than I'm used to. So I had to read it and make sure I did get it back in order though. I only got a couple pages out of order. I was like, what is happening here? This is not right. So I read it through and made sure everything was in order. Okay, there we go. Let me see what's happening with my timer here. I think it's trying to mess me up. Okay, there we go. Let me see what happened. Did it go? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm about done here with this video, but I'm going to go ahead and fold this over. See if I can get this into the video here and finish this page without going over, hopefully. So, see, this is straight. I've got everything straight. I'm going to put a little art glitter glue right here on the edges and make this a tuck spot. And if it's too big, for some reason, I'll cut a little sliver off over here. And it'll be good to go. I won't have to refold this side. There's a lot of flexibility really in ring-bound journals if you've never made one. I don't know. I mean, some people might not like them, or you know, not like to make them. They might think they're a little difficult, but I don't know. I don't really think they're difficult. I think they're one of the easiest journals to make. So if you just want to keep watching, I'll try to show as much as I can on video. You know, I just have 30 minutes though in my camera for each video. Oh, here's my lid. It's clear, so I couldn't see it. Okay, so we got that page, and that might be the last page, and then we'll do this like this. So let's see how it fits. Is it in? It is. It's in. And so now we have a little side tuck here. Okay, so we got 2 pages in plus all the book pages. So I'm going to go ahead. First thing what I do is go ahead and put a page in between each of the book pages, the original book pages. And then I see how many pages I have, and then I add more as, you know, whatever I go and add, you know, other fun things like index cards and postcards and fun stuff, and then just keep going until I think it's done. And I also have to watch and make sure it's not too thick for the book ring so it can turn nicely, you know what I mean? So that's where we are. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all next time.